Welcome to the More Than Fitness Podcast.
Hello, podcast friends, and welcome back to Minisode number 71 on the More Than Fitness Podcast. Today's Minisode, it's going to be a good one, okay? We're talking about a pretty complex topic, actually. So if you're watching the video podcast and you see me glancing down at my laptop, it's because I have these notes here and I just want to make sure that I say everything that needs to be said and try and not sound like too much of an idiot. But today's topic is going to be on muscle soreness and DOMS. So delayed onset muscle soreness, and does it actually matter? Right? Because for some reason, people like you and I, people who love working out, for some reason, we love pain, right? That's kind of what it comes down to. People who love lifting love pain. And then even more so, we love feeling sore the next day. We love feeling more pain the day after because it makes us feel productive. It makes us feel like the workout we did yesterday, that we actually did something. I kind of attribute it to a little bit different, but it's also like why a lot of pre-workouts will include beta-alanine in them. So if you've ever taken a pre-workout and you got that big tingly sensation, right? That's typically beta-alanine or niacin, but that's why they put it in there, is because we like to feel stuff. So what typically happens, and the problem that comes up with muscle soreness, is that people tend to think that if they don't feel any muscle soreness, then their workout wasn't actually productive. This is what plenty of my online coaching clients, they'll ask me, they say, I don't actually feel sore this week. I haven't felt much soreness this week. So like, am I actually even doing anything? Or they always say, or they sometimes say after they wake up and they're really sore, they're like, oh, I feel great. It hurts, but I feel great. Again, we're psychotic for some reason. But whenever they say, oh, it feels like I haven't done enough, I'm not sore, so I feel like I'm not actually making progress. It's like, is that actually the case? And so that's kind of what I want to touch on today. So the first thing, I'm going to give you the Dummies edition, including my own teachings of it, because this is a complicated topic. But what causes muscle soreness? So basically, whenever you stress your muscles, like through lifting, you create these little micro tears in the muscles. And whenever you produce those micro tears in your muscles, it sets off this cascade of inflammation signals basically throughout your body. And that's what signals the muscle repair and the muscle recovery to begin. And so the more novel the stimulus, so like whenever you switch up your workouts, for example, or just the more total stimulus and total damage, muscle damage that you accumulate, the more likely it is that you will feel sore. And this is why you have the cascade of inflammation signals. They take some time, right? So this is why we have delayed onset muscle soreness, is because those signals take a while basically to move their way throughout the body, and then also appropriate the proper responses from your body to initiate that repair. Sometimes could take 24, 48, 72 hours, depending on how much damage you have accumulated, right? So that is just a little muscle soreness 101. But then this begs the question, does this mean muscle soreness is correlated with muscle growth? And I think correlated, yes. It's one of the indicators that muscle growth may be occurring, but it is not the sole indicator of muscle growth. So this is just one piece of the puzzle. And it's also not a absolutely necessary piece of the puzzle. It's just another data point. It's another subjective experience, because it is subjective. You wake up, you feel sore. If I told you to rate your soreness 1 out of 10, some days it's going to feel worse than the others. And you may say 9 out of 10, but the objective truth is that it may be a 7 out of 10. right? So it's still subjective experience, and that's also why it's not the best indicator, is because we kind of just go by feel, and then it's more so just in our own heads. We think that soreness, the feeling of soreness, equals good, and that's definitely not the case. So yeah, it is not the sole indicator, and other indicators would be how good your pumps are in the gym, like on a regular basis. Like, are you going in whenever you do a high rep set of cable curls or something? Are you getting a good pump in your biceps or other muscles, of course? How is your performance in the gym? So how is your strength compared to previous weeks in the gym? How do you feel overall? How's your overall well-being, your fatigue? Do the weights that you normally use and normally max out with or something, or normally can hit for 5 easy reps, is it feeling heavier than normal? Well, that's probably a good indication that you've gotten a little bit of muscular damage. You may need to recover a little bit more. But again, there's multiple indicators. Soreness is just one indicator, because you can literally just switch up your training program every single day. Like, if you want to feel sore, you literally just switch up your workouts every single day. And that will give you that novel stimulus for your muscles so that you can feel sore. But that doesn't actually mean that you're growing muscle, which brings me to my next point. The main goal is not muscle soreness. The main goal is to build muscle, which we mostly know from the scientific research and things. Again, mostly know. There's even more smarter people than me that can dig into the weeds of this stuff. But for the most part, the consensus seems that we mostly know muscle growth is driven by doing more total work and doing more volume over time while managing fatigue. And you can absolutely achieve those goals without getting sore. So that in layman's terms, doing more work, you're just getting stronger basically, and doing more sets, reps, adding more load and weight over time, right? That's the simple fact of it, right? So like I said, you can absolutely achieve that without getting sore. But that being said, a little bit of soreness a day or two after your lifting session is probably a good indicator that you're pushing your muscles harder, which could result in growth, right? So right now I'm feeling just a tinge of muscle soreness in my chest. I did a little bit of chest yesterday, and nothing crazy. I'm not feeling super sore. I can't I can put my arms over my head and think still. So it's not anything that's unbearable, but that little bit of muscle soreness is probably a good indicator. Like, okay, I probably pushed my chest muscles a little bit harder than normal, right? So that's probably a good indicator that I created a little bit of damage and could result in potential muscle growth. But the thing is, too much muscle soreness can actually hinder your muscle growth, right? So like I said, growing more muscle comes from doing total work over time in the gym. Well, like I said, if I wanted to do, so where I just said I can put my arms over my head, my chest is a little bit sore, but nothing too crazy. Well, okay, so if I did chest yesterday and say I want to do two chest sessions in a week, but yesterday I went hard as fuck. I went 10 out of 10 on the intensity scale. And then today I woke up and I could barely, brush my teeth or something, or just putting my arms over my head, I felt an immense stretch in my chest. Just if you guys have worked out hard, you know the pain I'm feeling, maybe not even just in your chest, but other muscles as well. But if I had that type of soreness today, then that soreness probably isn't going to go away for multiple days, possibly even a week or something like that. But why that becomes a problem is because if I wanted to do chest twice in a week, which is probably a good idea, which I will explain why. But so if I did chest yesterday, I did a 10 out of 10 on the intensity scale, and then let's say in 3 days, then I want to go in the gym again. My chest is still pretty damn sore, so my program calls for me doing chest again. Well, my performance in the gym is probably going to be like a 4 or 5 out of 10 because I'm still so damn sore from that first day. So that soreness from the first day, that muscle damage, is actually preventing me from having a better performance in subsequent days. So it's not how much you can do, like we know with building muscle, it's not how much you can just work out in one session, right? It's not about your performance in one workout. It's in your performance in an entire week or an entire month. Again, what I said, growing muscle, you have to accumulate volume and do more total work over time. If I, for example, if I want to do chest twice in a week and I wanted to accumulate the most volume and most work possible, it would probably make sense for me to have 2 chest sessions at maybe a 7 or 8 out of 10 in intensity, because if I did a 7 or 8 out of 10 intensity yesterday, then I would be, sore for maybe a day or 2, but then I'd be well rested and recovered so that I could hit chest again in 3 or 4 days, right? And so if I had 2 sessions that were a 7 or 8 out of 10 on the intensity scale, I will be able to accumulate more total work and volume than I would if I did 1 session all out, balls out, and did a 10 out of 10 intensity, and then the other one was a 4 out of 10. Right. So we have to think long term here. Don't think in just one session. Okay, how much can I kill my chest in this one session? Like, that's not going to be productive. We have to be smart about our training and managing our fatigue over time. So the person that does a moderately intense workout 2 or 3 times a week is going to do much better than the person that does one super intense workout and then has to lower their, or just not do it at all. These are the people who do a leg workout maybe once a week or something, and then they're trying to recover just from that one single workout. But I can guarantee if they would break it up into 2 sessions, go a little bit less hard, not go to complete failure, they're going to be able to accumulate more work and more volume than what they did formerly, right? So that is how too much muscle soreness can actually hinder muscle growth. And that's kind of the main point with all of this, is that the goal is not to get sore. The goal is to build muscle. And if we want to build muscle, we have to make sure that we can do more work and be prepared and recovered for our next session, right? Don't think singular. Don't think singular workouts. Let's see, we're good. Yeah, good on time. Of course, I rambled a little bit. So does muscle soreness matter? Well, yes, but it is not the only thing that matters, and too much of it can prevent you from building muscle. So soreness shouldn't be the goal and shouldn't be how you measure a productive, soreness shouldn't be the goal and shouldn't be how you measure how productive a workout was, right? Like I said, you can absolutely be making progress in the gym without being sore. Instead, what I would say is you should measure how much work you're doing over time, like I just mentioned. So what this would mean is measuring your strength in the gym. So how much stronger are you this month than 6 months ago? Your pumps in the gym, do you feel good on a regular basis? Are you getting good pumps? If you're not getting good pumps, then that could be a sign of overtraining, too much fatigue. You need to recover a little bit more. So those would be more like performance indicators, and then more physical indicators would be things like your body weight and also your body measurements. And of course, that's a discussion for another day, but those are going to be much better measures to take than, okay, I'm sore after this workout, so that means I'm growing muscle. It's simply not the case. So hope that helped a little bit. If you have any more questions or anything like that, feel free to let me know. It is a little bit of a complicated topic. If you need me to elaborate on anything else, as always, let me know. But that is it for Minisode number 71. Thank you so much, as always, for listening and for watching. See ya.